Welcome to the Crockers Unleashed podcast. Here, anything goes. Let's start this episode with drinking some Sprite, because why not? It's delicious. Jason, you got too many irons in the fire. You need to not do that. I get that all the time, and I also they say that I sound like Aziz Ansari when I do that. But that was kind of like Steve Urkel. But anyways, yeah, people are always like, how many irons are you gonna have in the fire, dude? Like, you need to slow down, quit your ADD, just do one thing, finish it, go to the next thing, whatever. I'm not a freaking robot, I'm not a machine, I don't like doing that. Holy cow, I was holding that one in, but I couldn't. But, Crockers Unleashed. But, I mean, the reason I do that is pretty much because I'm ADD to the extreme, so it's just like, oh man, what's this? But really and truly, at the end of the day is I am very business oriented, I guess. My mind is very entrepreneur-like. And so I got the taste of being my own boss like 10 years ago, something like that. And I started doing woodworking, and that was really cool. And that was something I fell into. I never really planned it. It just kind of happened. And then I started doing video work for myself and, then doing for bands and all this stuff. And then I started YouTube, now, podcast or whatever, all the stuff. And then now so basically I have a few channels. It's the Crockers is one. Then I got Coffee the Crockers, and then I tried Crockers Live Action, but that didn't really work because YouTube's part. And then, but now I have the podcast, and then I have, on top of all that, building this house and living off grid. And then now I'm starting a clothing line, and it's just a lot going on. There's other things that I want to do. There's a couple of projects that I'll probably do behind the scenes. I won't even tell anybody because people are always like, you got too many irons in the fire, Jason, you need to slow down. But really and truly, at the end of the day, I don't know, it's my lifestyle, it's my life, I'm going to do what I want. But as far as business goes, I don't see how that's a terrible thing. If you can divide up your time and do certain things, like right now, it's dark. I wish you could see. That's kind of why you can see these like blue lights in the back, and which kind of looks cool off this like metal stuff, right? But it's at night. I live off grid. I don't have TV. I don't have internet. Most people right now are like sitting back, drinking a beer, cold beer, and pretty much watching Netflix and ruining, like just throwing their life away. They're probably watching the Crockers right now, thinking, "Oh, what is Jason doing?" They just watched a 45-minute to an hour-long video of me doing nothing. You are wasting your life when you could be like me, creating videos, wasting other people's lives. So that's the way I see it. But pretty much, yeah. So I try to come up with things that one, benefit me in some form or fashion. One that keeps me occupied because my mind cannot just sit still. It doesn't work. I wish it would, but it doesn't. Most nights I can't sleep unless I'm just freaking super tired or drink a lot. And I really don't like to drink that much. So I try to wear myself out mentally so I can go to sleep at the end of the night. But like the clothing line that I'm doing, I'm not doing it every day. It's just a cool project for me to work on and kind of dip my toes in the water a little bit and kind of, see what it's like and have fun with it and do all that. And, my older brother Matt's really stepping up and helping. He's going to be running a lot of all that stuff. And, and then, like the podcast, I'm doing this right now at night. I'm not really doing anything other than editing videos at night, which I'm only doing one video a week. So I'm only spending one day a week editing. So the other days I kind of do podcast. Another day I'll try to come up with like designs and stuff for my clothing line. Coffee the Crockers is a one-take video in the morning, and so all these things. It's not that it takes up so much of my time, it's I use my time wisely, and I think a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are like, I don't have time to do anything. Jason, you need to stop doing this. And, all this stupid stuff that they say to me. But really and truly, if you broke it down, you guys are wasting your time. I'm using my time wisely, and I'm using my time to further myself in this crazy thing that we call life. I've said this for years and years and years, but life is a game. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. You may lose the game, and you may not be here tomorrow. So why sit there and watch TV all day and do nothing? Now, if you have a disability and you can't really up and do anything, I understand that. But maybe you can come up with something that you could do at your laptop, and you can, write a book, or I don't know what you like to do. You can knit. You could start an Etsy store and sell beanies that you knit. There's always something that you could do that you can have different irons in your own fire. You don't have to physically go out and do something crazy. You can do something when you're doing nothing, and that's the beauty of it. And right now, I would just be sitting in my little micro tiny house trying to get a fire going, and just in my sleeping bag, and I'd be sitting on probably Facebook fighting with someone over something that doesn't matter, and I don't even know if that person exists. So I decided I would do a podcast, and it's something that I truly enjoy. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and just to make it a reality, I did it. And I already had the camera, I already had the lights, I already had the microphone, I already had recording software, the cool lights, I already had this room. So it's just something that I was just like, look, I already got it, might as well do it. Now I'm not saying you shouldn't invest in stuff, because, some of this, clearly I didn't invest in, especially over time. It's just I had it and I want to do it, so I did it, and I have the time to do it. So I don't see why it's so bad. And then as far as the clothing line goes, I spend my time at night when I'm not editing my video or doing this podcast, and I try to come up with logos and stuff. And then in my head, I'm constantly, I have a notepad on my phone, and I have 8 million notepads. And any idea that I had that's like, oh, this would be cool for this, I'll write it down. Or, oh, this would be cool for that. Or a video title, or an idea for a shirt, or an idea for a podcast episode. I'm constantly writing it down, jotting it down. That way I could use my time wisely. And some awesome viewer, I wish I could remember your name in the moment, sent me a freaking calendar planner book thing. And it's like a YouTube one. It's pretty cool, but it breaks it down by days, and it breaks down where you can write notes and all this stuff. And I got beef jerky stuff in my teeth because I was eating just a ton of beef jerky lately. At first, and I'm not even gonna lie, I opened it and I was like, this is dumb. I'm not gonna use it. I'm not trying to say I sound ungrateful, but I'm the type that's I don't need to plan. I don't need to write it down, but I am. Really and truly, whoever sent that freaking knows me so well, which is creepy, but in a very nice way. But they sent me this planner, and it's going to help me out. I was already looking for a pen, and I actually know where one is, so I'm going to take it on the way out, and I'm going to start jotting down everything down, and, be like, all right, on this day, I want to do this for a podcast, or this day, I need to work on my shirts, and then, now I'm actually going to be, legit making the shirts. I got a press and everything, and I'll be able to write down who orders what type of shirt I need, stuff like that, and I'll be able to do all that. And then I'll also have Matt helping me with the shirts and stuff as well. So it'll be a really cool thing that he gets to help out, but I still can be in charge somewhat. You know what I mean? I still have enough of I guess a foot in there, enough of my iron in that fire to also do some things and kind of come up with ideas and help run it. I'm gonna let him take over a lot of it, but I enjoy the aspect of being somewhat into it. So another thing with having a lot of irons in the fire, truly as a business standpoint, is you got to think of it this way. The more irons you have in this fire, there's a lot better chance that you could pull one out. It's hot enough, you can brand something. You can do something with it. So really and truly, at the end of the day, the Crockers, the channel is probably the biggest thing I got going on. But let's just say tomorrow it crashes for whatever reason. I don't know. Things can happen. Say if the channel crashes. Well, then I got this podcast to kind of fall back on. I got Coffee with Crockers. Let's say YouTube in general goes away. Well, now I have a clothing line, and that could potentially keep me going if YouTube were ever to fall off. And you have to think of these things when you're self-employed. Technically I do work for Google, which is YouTube and all that. If they shut down, I'm done. I no longer have a paycheck. If you guys quit watching, I no longer have a paycheck. I can't watch my own videos enough to make a living. So, I want to be smart enough as a businessman, if you want to call me that, to say, look, I want to brand what I'm doing and start this clothing line. And, at the end of the day, I've talked to my parents and Jared and Matt and stuff and Jaylena and whatever, the Sawyers and everybody that I talk to on a, almost daily basis. I'm not trying to get rich off of it. I'm just trying to do something if I can make a profit when I wouldn't be doing anything at all. That's amazing. So basically right now, instead of watching Netflix, I'm not monetized on this podcast, but eventually it will be. So instead of watching Netflix, I can create this podcast, put it out there. I'll do it for free forever. I don't care if it ever gets monetized. But if I can make money off of it, why would I not do that instead of sit there and watch Netflix all day? That's just my mindset. I am not a believer in complaining about not having money, not having the things I want in life. We were taught at a very young age, if you want it, you better go get it. It will not be handed to you. We used to wash windows. We would mow neighbors' yards. We got jobs when we were 15. Everything that we wanted as kids and, young adults and stuff, we worked for it and we had to get out there and bust our butts. So once you become self-employed, your entire mindset changes. So I had your normal 9 to 5. Actually, honestly, I had one 9 to 5 job, and that was the last job I had. But everything else was like working at 4 a.m. to whatever, scrubbing airplanes. I literally picked up dog poop for a living. I've worked in warehouses. I've done it all. I've done mowing yards. I've done everything you can think of, and but at the end of the day, with all that, you have a paycheck. You could go to a job and be absolutely terrible, and at the end of the week on Friday, they're going to give you a paycheck, and it's going to be for how many hours you worked. Not how hard you worked, how many hours you worked. So a lot of people go to work, and they just half-ass everything, because it doesn't matter if they half-ass it or not, they're going to get that whatever hourly wage. They may not get a raise, but they'll get that hourly wage. And my friend that literally never had any college experience, never went anything over high school. He told me this a long time ago. He moved all the way up to be vice president of a mortgage company, and he started in the mailroom. He started in the bottom, and he said, well, if I'm there, I'm going to bust my butt and get to the top, get as much out of it as I can. So whenever I became self-employed, I kind of took that same thing and I ran with it. And I was like, well, if I'm already building, I might as well build all day and sell as much woodworking stuff as I possibly can. Now it's the same thing with YouTube. Now it's the same thing with, selling clothes and whatnot. So pretty much that's the way I see it is, I don't think you can have too many irons in the fire if you spread your time out evenly and you do it the right way. So I don't know. That's just my thing on it is if you want to be successful, you got to put yourself out there, and you have to know that some of it is going to fail. So you have to have a backup plan in case something fails. You have something else to fall back on. That's pretty much it. So I don't know. That's my take. If you don't like my opinion, you can just shove it up whatever you want to shove it up, and go on with your day. But if you made it this far, thanks guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. And I will catch you on the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's go.